Morning, students. Now, in the last session of microprocessor and microcontroller, we have studied about the introduction to 8-bit AVR microcontroller. Right? So we have started our unit 3 that was about the 8-bit AVR microcontroller. Right? And we have discussed about the some basic terms. Right? What is embedded system? What are the different embedded products? Then about RISC and CISC, then about von Neumann and Harvard architecture. Now, in today's session, we are going to study about that is architecture and features of AVR microcontroller. Now, for topics to be covered in the following session are what is AVR microcontroller, the AVR microcontroller family, features of AVR controller. Now, what is AVR microcontroller? So, in the last session, we have discussed that the full form of AVR that was based on two names. First, it was that is advanced virtual RISC based on the type of architecture each AVR consists of, that is RISC architecture, reduced instruction set computers. And the second name was based on the name of two scientists or two students who discovered AVR, that is ELF and Vega RISC. Right now, today we will discuss that what is basically an AVR microcontroller. So AVR microcontroller is an electronic chip manufactured by Atmel, which has several advantages over other types of microcontroller. Right. So in the last chapter in unit 2, we have studied one type of microcontroller, that is 8051. Here in the today's session, we are going to discuss about AVR microcontroller. So it is again it is also an electronic chip, right, in which all the systems or all the different peripherals are connected or mounted on a single chip, right, and it is also manufactured by Atmel, right, and which has several advantages over the other types of microcontroller. Now, we can understand microcontroller by comparing it with personal computers, which has a motherboard inside it. In the motherboard, a microprocessor, either the processor is of AMD type or Intel chips, is used to provide the intelligence, EEPROM and RAM memories for interfacing to the system like serial ports, display interface and disk drivers, right? So we have seen this microcontroller 8051 in which there were a EEPROM, RAM, all are interfaced with the particular controller 8051 and which will interface to the other peripherals such as serial ports, other interface, that is keyboard, LCD or any disk drivers. A microcontroller has all or most of these features built into a single chip. Therefore, it does not require a motherboard or any other components. Right? So, when we talk about computers, right, the computers, that is nothing but a processor. So, processor will require a motherboard, right? But the controller is having all the features on a single chip. So, there will be no requirement of motherboard or any other peripherals on the control. It is already inbuilt on the particular chip. AVR microcontroller comes in different configurations, some designed using surface mounting and some designed using hole mounting. So based on the different peripherals mounting on the controller, they are divided, AVR controllers are divided into two configurations. First, the controllers which are mounted on a surface, or you can say the controllers are mounted using a hole mounting. It is available with 8 pins to 100 pins, that is IO pins, right? Any microcontroller with 64 pins or over is a surface mount only. So whenever there will be a controller with 64 IO pins or greater than 64 IO pins, then it will be a compulsory surface mounting. Some mostly used AVR controllers are, the examples are ATmega 8 microcontroller, ATmega 16 microcontroller, ATmega 32 microcontroller and ATmega 32 8 microcontroller. In these, we will study about ATmega 32 in detail. Here, now, Now the AVR microcontroller family. Discussing about AVR microcontroller family. So here it is shown the overview or the architecture of AVR microcontroller family. Right now, basically the controller will have a processor. Right. So here a CPU is in between. CPU is in between, right, where it is connected with the external peripherals, right. The CPU processor will need a clock generation of frequency for oscillation. So here with CPU an oscillation circuit is connected, right, and all the peripherals are connected externally. For example, RAM, EEPROM, timers, unit, ports, interrupt, and other peripherals, and ports will have a IO pins. Right now, as you can see, this AVR controller follows the Harvard architecture. So as you can see here, it is a program ROM to store a program or code memory, and here it is a data ROM for storing the data memory. Right, and as you can see, both having a different data bus and address bus. Here for data, the bus has been shown in this way, in the two directional way, whereas in here program room it is showing in a unidirectional way. So from these we can conclude that the AVR controller will follow a Harvard architecture, where the both address bus and data bus will have separate for program memory as well as data memory. Clear? So this is the basic architecture, or you can say simplified view of AVR microcontroller. Now, in the next slide, we will discuss the whole architecture of ATmega32. So, in this is the half diagram. The next diagram we will show in the continuation of the diagram will show in the next slide. Now, as you can see, this is the basic architecture of ATmega32 block diagram. Now, what does the ATmega32 will consider? So, this will have a whole chip, right. The whole chip that for connecting that whole chip we will need a power supply, so VCC, and another that is connected with the ground. Right now, here there is a port A, from port A to port A0 to A7, and here it is a port C from PC0 to PC7. Right, then port A drivers and buffers, port C drivers and buffers, right, for storing the data or for transferring the data. Now this data will convert it into, it will be in the digital format. So here we will need a digital interface for both port A and port C, and this bidirectional shows this is a data bus. Clear? Now, as you can see, whenever we will discuss about the that is a pin diagram of ATmega32, you will see that at port A, there will be an ADC, external pins of ADC. ADC, that is nothing but your analog to digital converter. So at port A, we will need a multiplex and ADC and ADC interface. And for ADC interface, we will require an AVCC, that is analog reference for power supply, and an AREF, that is analog reference. This is for power supply, which is connected to again VCC when we are using ADC bus as a port A, and this is a reference, that is analog reference, through which our analog data will convert into digital from with this reference level. Right, and this is connected with the ADC interface. So this is whole port A, which is the input output port, as well as it will have an alternate function of analog to digital converter, that is from ADC 0 to ADC 7, as PA0 to PA7. Right, so this is port A. Now, port C also having a different contours, such as it is TWI, that is for timer clock. Then it will have a timer counters, oscillators. It will all connected with this. So oscillators will have at a pin, that is from PC6 and PC7. Right. Then it will have a then in the next the ATmega32 will have a program counter, stack pointer, program flash, SRAM. These are the various blocks for memory, right, in architecture of this ATmega32. And here there are basic peripherals, that is watchdog timer, then oscillator. Oscillator is connected to with two crystal points, that is XTL2 and XTL1, right. And for resetting this whole pin, we will have the MCU control pin will connected to the reset part. Right. So in this architecture, this is port A, Port C, port here with the alternate function of analog to digital converter. So it will connected with the ADC and ADC interface, and port C will have a timer, counters and oscillators. So it will connected with these two pins. Then again this part will of registers, right? Various types of registers, right? Then here it will having a timer and counter and oscillator for frequency oscillation, which is connected with XTL2 and XTL1. And the last pin, that is reset, which is connected with this MCU control also, that to control this whole processor controller. Now in the next session, right, this we have discussed, that is this is AVR CPU, in which this is AVR CPU in which there is a register part, ALU part, right? Now here in there they will have an interrupt unit, EEPROM. Then for serial port it will have a USART mode, that is universal synchronous asynchronous receiver and transmitter, right? For serial transfer, for serial interface we will have a SPI, that is serial peripheral interface bus, right? Then for comparison there will be a comparative interface, right? And here there will again two ports, that is PD0 and PD port B and port 7, right? Again we'll have a port drivers buffers and port driver digital interface. So these two slides whole include the architecture of ATmega32. So if it is asked the architecture of ATmega32, right, you need to draw this diagram, right? And if they have asked about the architecture of AVR, you need to draw this following diagram, that is simplified view of AVR microcontroller, right? So this is the AVR microcontroller diagram, and this is these two slides are of ATmega32. Then going about the features of AVR controller. So some of the general features of AVR microcontroller is, so it will have 2 KB of SRAM, static RAM, 32 cross 8 GPR, general purpose register, that means 32 IO pins will be there, each of 8 bit. Then 32 KB of system self programmable ROM, that PROM, right? Then 1024 bytes, that is 1 KB of EEPROM. Then programmable serial USART mode for serial communication. Then there will be 8 channel, will have a 10 bit analog to digital converters. Then 116-bit timer counter with separate prescaler, compare mode and capture mode. Then it will have a 40-pin IC, right? The dual in-pin IC, 44 PAD QFN, that is quadrature flat pin, and 44 lead QTF, right? Then two 8-bit timer counters with separate prescalers and compare modes. These all we will see in the MSc2 syllabus, right? How timers and counters will work. These are all only features you need to remember. Then 32 programmable IO lines, which is 4 ports, PA, PB, PA and PD, right? Then in system programming, on-chip boot program, right? Then master slave SPI serial interface, and 4 PWM, that is pulse width modulation channels, and programmable watchdog timer with separate on-chip oscillators. So these are the features of AVR microcontroller. Now there are again special features of microcontroller, that is it will have an external and interrupt sources, 6 sleeps modes, that is ideal, ADC noise reduction, power save, power down, standby and extended standby. Then power on reset and programmable brownout detection, and internal caliber RC oscillator, right? So that's all for today's session. In this we have discussed about the architecture of AVR controller as well as architecture of ATmega32 block diagram, right? And we have discussed about the features of AVR controller. Clear? So that's all for today's session, right? Thank you.